After my daughter was diagnosed with celiac disease over 10 years ago, I was wondering, what the heck do you do first? Not someday, not a month from now, but like today. In this video, I'm going to talk about the first 30 days dealing with your diagnosis and what to do week by week in the first 4 weeks, and what I would do if I had to do it over again. Now, in my last video, I actually talked about the emotional side of things and what people often don't talk about. So if you're curious to know about that, be sure to check out that video. But I do want to say, as a disclaimer, I'm not a doctor, I am not a dietitian. I am just a mom sharing with you what has worked for us in the last 10 plus years that we have been walking this celiac journey. Now, if you have questions, be sure to ask your healthcare or medical team. In the first week, I would definitely focus on keeping things super simple. How about 5 meals and 5 snacks? Think about things that your kids already like and enjoy. No, maybe not those chicken nuggets, but if they like chicken, what about grilled chicken or chicken that you put in a pan and heat up with some butter or something like that? Fruits, vegetables, beans, rice, corn tortillas. These are all things that are naturally gluten-free. Now, when you get packaged items, you definitely need to be reading labels to make sure it says certified gluten-free. I also recommend looking for these other labels on packages. If it says gluten-free, you do want to remember to check the ingredients just to be sure that there is no hidden gluten. But that may get a little bit overwhelming, so just focus on that certified gluten-free to start with. Now, down in the description, I also have a free resource for you. It walks through these first 4 weeks and a little bit of a starter grocery list to help you through those first few moments of figuring out food and what works best for you and what to avoid. Remember, it's not about being perfectly gluten free. You're going to take little steps to get to the big picture, but these things will help you to implement all of these gluten-free things within your first week, especially with food. In week 2, I would focus on your kitchen space, a safe preparation area. So you can't keep everything completely free, but in the beginning, you can keep things very separated. In our home, we have a mixed gluten and gluten-free kitchen. I recommend, if you're going to start out, to have maybe masking tape on a certain area in the kitchen on a separate counter space that is just for preparing your gluten-free food. When it comes to utensils and cutting devices like cutting boards, I would definitely recommend getting rid of all wooden cutting boards and wooden spoons or spatulas because those can harbor bacteria or gluten, and then when you go to utilize those on gluten-free things, you can have cross-contamination. I would also think about toasters. You definitely need 2 toasters if you have a mixed household like ours. If not, just get rid of that other toaster and have your gluten-free toaster in your home. We have two, one that is marked gluten-free and the other one is not marked, so we know that's gluten. So you can have 2 toasters on 2 separate counters and have things be safe. Other things that you kind of want to watch out for are toaster ovens. Make sure in your regular oven or toaster ovens that you're using foil when prepping gluten-free food. It's a great way to help keep things clean, and then you can also scrub and wipe those down as well. I would also watch out for air fryers or deep fryers. Those could be huge cross-contamination areas where you have those little particles up in the air and then they rest and settle. And then when you go to cook something gluten-free, those gluten get on top of your gluten-free items, and then you have cross-contamination and you could be feeling sick from that later. So when you go out to eat, make sure that they have a dedicated fryer, and the same thing at home. Make sure you have a dedicated gluten-free fryer. Now that you've kind of prepped your kitchen, make sure that you let people in your home know what you're doing, where the safe zones are, where the not safe zones are, and how you're going to be walking through this protocol of keeping the celiac person safe. I would love to know If you've just started your journey or if you're further along with your celiac diagnosis, are you dealing with schools for your children? Are you looking for restaurants to eat? Are you still looking for recipes that work for you and your family? I'm curious to know. Comment it down below so that I can be sure to make videos that address those things that you are looking for answers for so that I could help you along with the next step that you're taking. In week 3, you want to start thinking about talking to other people. I'm sure you've maybe mentioned to close friends or family that you guys received a celiac diagnosis. You want to make sure that you cover all of your bases and talk to the people you trust the most and the ones who have the most contact with you and your family. So you'll probably want to talk to your child's school, babysitter, or daycare. You'll also want to cover grandparents, aunts, uncles, and all of your close family friends just to let them know. Hey, we received a celiac diagnosis. We are walking this journey. Our child needs to eat gluten free now. One way that you can help control an environment and help you to feel less stress and more peace is preparing some of the food that you are taking to somebody's house. This way, you know your child has gluten free, safe food. But don't expect everybody to understand what celiac disease is. They may think gluten free. Okay, hold on, I got you. Here's a salad. However, you just need to pick off the croutons, no big deal. They don't realize that you can get cross-contamination from that. That is a big no-no. Pulling off croutons leaves behind crumbs, and that will cause your child to be ill. So understand that people are going to try to be helpful, but they don't understand all of the things around celiac disease and being gluten-free. One thing that I did personally was I found out that celiac disease is hereditary, and I had a feeling there might be something going on with me. For years, I had dealt with gut issues. And so when my daughter went gluten free at 8 years old, I said, honey, I'm going to go gluten free with you. No matter what, we're going to walk this together. And this way, she didn't feel alone. About a year and a half into the process, I found out I too had celiac disease. So her and I are the gluten free people in our home. And we help support each other through different difficulties or things that we may face. In week 4, let's start looking a little bit further ahead. What holidays are coming up? Are there any birthdays or family events or things going on? Let's think about how you can find some gluten-free favorites that will work for you during this time. This way you don't have your child feeling left out. There are a lot of gluten-free options that you can get. You may not be able to do the whole Thanksgiving meal or another meal with the family exactly the same, but you can find a few special things and let your child know about them. And cherish those together and know that things will get easier in the future and you will find more gluten free things that they will be able to enjoy, especially at those special occasions. One other thing that I would focus on is eating out. That is something that you get to do with friends and family. Find 1 to 3 restaurants that you can go and eat out at. I will caution you though, a lot of fast food is not gluten-free. There's a ton of cross-contamination. There are a few that will work, but you need to be sure to check how they prep their food. Even if you've heard one place has gluten-free French fries, you need to see how that particular location prepares them. You would often be surprised that they don't often follow protocol. So don't get discouraged. Know that you can find 1 to 3 places and stay to those. It will give you great peace of mind knowing that you're not going to get your child sick. Now, there are a lot of resources out there that are free for you to look up information on. There are some great websites, which I have down in the description. You can always ask your dietitian or your doctor for some as well. I also recommend some Facebook forums or websites that you can check out where people give information on restaurants or foods that they've tried. I do err on the side of caution though. Also, be careful because everybody in those forums reacts to gluten differently. Everybody has different tolerances. So be aware of that when you hear a restaurant is safe, or maybe it sounds safe enough when you go in, be sure to ask them, How is this food prepared? Do you have a designated area that you are working with for gluten-free items? Take this week, week number 4, to check in with your child. See how they are doing with all of these changes. Remember the good things that you guys have found that they are still enjoying. Remind them that things will get easier and things will change, and you're going to have hiccups or mistakes that happen. Check in with yourself as well and encourage yourself and do self care. You need to do that. You're the one in charge of helping your child along this journey. So be sure to take care of yourself as well as you walk through this process. In my next video, I'm going to be going over how to approach a school or daycare and what you need to do to get everything set up to help your child have a safe learning environment, whether or not you should put a 504 in place, how to approach the school, and what paperwork you need. So make sure you check out that video. But if you would like that free resource that helps you through these first 30 days, be sure to go down to the description and get your free printable download. Remember, you don't have to do this alone. And I look forward to seeing you in my next video.